Hi, everybody. We're going to talk today about legal treatises and books, things that you will need when you're trying to learn how to practice, actually. What are treatises and why use them? Treatises basically are books. Books are treatises. Um, the terms are pretty much interchangeable. Usually, if somebody refers to a treatise, they're looking at something a bit more scholarly, written sometimes by a noted author or expert in the field, and sometimes it refers to multi-volume sets, the big sets of books. They explain subjects in depth. They're great for finding practical information, not just what the law is or the cases about that law, but also what you can do with it and where it comes from. So, for example, if you're trying to find out about copyright law, you can read in cases about copyright and how the law has been applied. But if you wanted to actually apply for a copyright and see what rights it gives and what to do when that's violated, and checklists to follow and forms that you might need and all sorts of things like that, how to actually practice copyright law, a treatise is going to be excellent for that. They're also great for finding out background on a subject, the history, how the law has been applied, how it's changed, and other things like that. Basically, what you're looking for is books that are great for finding out in depth what the law is on a particular subject, an explanation of the cases and the laws, how it's changed over time, and a lot of times practice materials as well, not just what the law is, but how to work with it. Books and treatises can be found on Westlaw and Lexis under secondary sources, and then you can look under jurisdiction beneath those. You also can do it the other way, where you can go in by jurisdiction and then under those look for secondary sources. We also have a lot of these in physical copies. The Florida treatises are in the Larkin reference room. Other treatises and books are mostly on the third floor north, and those are the ones usually that are more national in scope, sometimes even international in scope. Use the catalog on the Law Library's webpage to find those. Some types of treatises that you might have, multi-volume sets, loose leaf books. These are the ones that are regularly updated by having pages taken in or pages taken out. Study aids. Usually these are one-volume books that are designed specifically for law students to give you a good overview of a general subject. They're great for reviewing what you may have learned in class and even for preparing for exams. When you're looking for legal treatises on Westlaw, remember to look under content types on the first page, the first screen. There you'll have all of the different types of content listed, and the one you want to go to is secondary sources. Secondary sources is where you'll find treatises. And as you see here, when we click on secondary sources, you can look by type, and under type you have text and treatises over on the right-hand column. Or you can go in by state. And if you go in by state, you'll also get the chance there to say that you want text and treatises. Once you've done that, and I went to Florida, jurisprudence and encyclopedias, text and treatises, it gives me a list of all the ones that they have. There are 34 in total for Florida. All of these are going to be in full text. All of them will have their indexes and their table of contents, so you can pick out the specific parts that you want to go to. And remember, as with all of Westlaw, the more you filter down the publications that you want to go to or the sources, the more your search bar changes. So, for example, if you decided that you only wanted to look at the book, Florida Elder Law Florida Practice Series, when you go to that book, what you'll have is the search bar up at the top, but it will have changed to where it only searches that book. It's very, very handy to remember, and it really lets you get closer to the information that you want. As far as finding legal treatises on Lexis, same type of thing. Look under secondary materials, which is under content types. And from there, go to treatises and guides. That will give you the legal treatises. You can then go by subject or by jurisdiction, and you can find the ones that you want. Study aids are the concise explanations designed for law students. They're really good for explaining what it is that you've heard about in class, for reviewing for exams, for just getting a good overview of a particular subject. We have 2 packages of study aids here that will give you all of the study aids published by 2 companies. You can annotate them, you can highlight them, you can jump to the specific place that you want. It's a really, really good package that we have here for both of these. What you want to do is go to the Law Library's homepage, and you'll see these 2 icons. One, the top one in blue, is for the West Study Aids. West Study Aids includes things like nutshells, which are little small volumes that have most of what you need to know on a particular subject. They're really good for reviewing. I use the West nutshell on legal research for the Advanced Legal Research course because it's a good, concise way to tell you and remind you what the different kinds of research materials are. There's also the Aspen Study Aids. And the Aspen Study Aids includes things like Examples and Explanations, which is a great series of books that will help you study for exams. On both West and Aspen Study Aids, you'll find a huge supply of study aids there. Lots of different series, even things like audio study aids. You can sign up for these to get your own login with these. You don't need it, but if you want to do things like download or annotate some of the things that you found, you do want to get those. This has been a very quick overview of finding treatises and using them. If you need any help at all in doing this, please contact us. Remember, the reference librarians are always here for you. You can reach us by email at lawrefgp@law.stetson.edu. You can call us at 562-7821, or you can come by the library. We are in the reference room, we're at the desk, we're in our offices. Stop by and we're glad to help.